We're tying up pretty small today. We're going to tie up a nice dry midge pattern. Usually won't tie these up because they're a little bit smaller than I can really fish with effectively. So we'll just get our thread started here on our hook. Obviously we don't want to use a lot of twists and turns of our thread. I'm using a nano silk size 18 here, size 30 like I said in the vise. Like I said, I won't tie these too frequently, not at least at this size, because to be quite frank, when I get out on the river I can't see to put this one on the end of my tippet. So I'll go ahead and start by tying in a shuck. I'm just going to use some Veevus Iris. It breaks apart really nicely, which is going to be really important on such a small fly. So I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to go ahead and tie this shuck in pretty long. And I'll just go ahead and take a few thread wraps forward, getting that nice and secured in place. And then I'll just go ahead and turn my vise a little bit here. I'm going to want this shuck to be about the length of the body. So that's kind of the measurement we're going for here. Try to stroke those fibers back as much as you can. And I'm going to come in and try to get that fairly close to the size of the body. For a little wing here, I'm just going to use a few strands of trigger point. And I'm going to just try to get that secured on the top of the shank of the hook here, a little bit behind the eye. Then I'm just going to take one or two more thread wraps there to kind of secure that in place. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it. The piece that's over the eye, I'm going to twist it back towards me. So hopefully we get that kind of a split going. Once you have that split going, we'll just go ahead and take a figure 8 wrap or two right through the center. So we're just going to take a couple of wraps around the very base of that wing. That's going to leave me pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and take a few wraps to cover up some of the white from the trigger point. We'll go ahead and we'll grab our whip finisher and we'll finish this one off here. Go ahead and clip our thread. I'm going to want this wing to be about the length of the body, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull that straight up. I'm going to come in here with my scissors and make a cut. Just about like that. Then I kind of squish this down to give it more of that kind of wing look to it. But again, a very nice dry midge pattern. Pretty tiny. When you're talking tiny, this is the head of a bobbin that we're used to working with. So you can see we're working with a very tiny fly. And when I get out on the river, if I don't have something like these on, which I usually don't when I'm out fishing, I'm not going to be able to see this to put it on the end of the tippet. So so for those of you who can see better than I can, this is a great pattern for you to fish with. It'll save a lot of your fishing days because it's such a nice and tiny midge pattern.